out doing some food delivery, but we're also going to be hanging out and talking baseball. So the Cardinals are the away team today. They are the split squad, so they don't really have their major crew out there. Only a couple of their regulars, mostly minor league guys and bench guys, it looks like. So Clay Holmes is pitching for the Mets, so we're mainly talking baseball. It won't be as in-depth of play-by-play as what I normally do when I get to sit at home and watch, but if there are some breaks in the midst of everything, then of course we will give you play-by-play as well. We are less than 1 week away from opening day for the Mets. Their first game of the season is next Thursday. So looking forward to that as everything slowly gets closer to the real season beginning for the Mets. Of course, the Cubs and the Dodgers have already played 2 regular season games in Japan, but even they are coming back to do a couple more spring training games here shortly. Michael Ciotti strikes out to start the game here. So Clay Holmes gets off to a good start once again. He's had an absolutely great spring, of course. I think the biggest questions for him are just longevity. You know, will he be able to keep his velocity, keep his pitching up through a full regular season? So I am on my way to drop off an order here really quick. So I've got a pizza order in the car. Of course, there's also NCAA March Madness basketball going on, and as we have opportunity to do so, we will also give you updates in some of those games as well. I hope your brackets aren't completely ruined yet. Maybe not till today. Yesterday seemed like it was just kind of an average tournament day, like 2 or 3 upsets, kind of right in the range that you'd normally expect them. Nothing, no crazy upsets, but yeah. All right, ground out to Brett Beatty. There are 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Brett Beatty is playing third base today. It is looking more and more like you're going to have Brett Beatty and Luis Angel Acuna both making this opening day roster. So still a couple little pieces to be officially determined. But yeah, it looks like Brett Beatty and Acuna are both going to make it because of Jeff McNeil's injury. I think if McNeil had not been injured, you probably would have had just Beatty, not Beatty and Acuna. But with the injury, it's going to end up being both, most likely, from everything that I'm seeing, from everything that I have observed as well. All right, Burleson walks, so that'll be 1 on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Alright, so I'm also in the midst of doing a delivery right now, trying to find this person's apartment to get them their pizza. It is 2 outs with a runner on first for the Cardinals in the top of the first inning. Clay Holmes is pitching right now. So all right, and I'll give you a full breakdown of the lineups and everything here once we once we get this order dropped off. Just trying to find out where exactly this person lives. They got to get their pizza. I wonder if they're watching some basketball as we speak. Hope everybody is doing well today. Yeah, so I'm not watching right now. I'm just listening, but as I have breaks in between deliveries, well, I do have the game on. So be looking to give you some of my own takes on things as well here. All right, and we got another strikeout. So the one walk for Clay Holmes. Other than that, 2 strikeouts in the inning plus a nice play by Beatty, according to Stan from Westport. By the way, good afternoon, Stan. I hope you are doing well. It looks like it is this building. So this is like the old depot or something in town here. So just gotta figure out where exactly I'm going. I guess I'm gonna park here real quick and just try to see exactly. It's like the old depot museum. Something like that. You guys have that in your town? All right, so it is commercial break, so you're not missing anything. I'm gonna go deliver this pizza, so I won't be missing anything, and I will be right back with you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know what you're thinking about the Mets this season. All right, well, this isn't the right address for sure, so this place is closed, so I don't know exactly where I'm going at all now. Because this is not the right place. We're gonna keep hunting. We gotta find out where this person's pizza is going. So no Lindor or Soto in the lineup today for the Mets. Pete Alonso is the DH. All right, so sorry, we're just trying to find out where this person's, I don't have any, like, I have an address, but there's just nothing working, so I gotta call support here to figure out where I'm actually going with this order. You guys don't know how to use circles. You don't stop in the middle of the circle, you just keep driving. All right. Oh, is this it? Hold on. I think I'm good. I think I found out where I'm going. So, Craig. No, I'm all good. Thank you. Bye. Hi. Yes. Yeah, it's very confusing over here because it brings. Well, my BRB sign doesn't want to stay up all day. All right. So, we are in between deliveries here. So let me get you guys caught up on the game here really quick. It is 0-0 in the bottom of the first. So, gonna get everything refreshed here. All right. They do not have. So I'm noticing there's an issue with MLB and the MLB app. They don't have the lineup in order. I don't know if you guys can see that here. It's a little weird. So like trying to follow along. Like they're showing Nimmo, Beatty, Walton, Sanger, Acuna, Vientos. They have Alonso hitting in the 7 hole. And it's like I don't know what. So hopefully they'll get that fixed before season is over here, but or season begins. All right. Anyway, that's what's going on right now. Are we actually did they actually announce the $5,000 a piece from Doge? I know they were talking about it. I know there's plenty of people who could use it right now. That's for sure. Let me know, like, is that official? Because I've heard the rumors here for weeks. All right, I'm gonna get out of this parking spot here really quick. All right, so it's still 0-0. Mets are at the plate. Vientos is up. So what I'm going to do is, of course, I'm still going to try to make deliveries. Got to make some money. Got to pay the bills. That's the life we live right now. Which is why the more we can like and the more subscribes we get on this stream, eventually, hopefully I can actually be always at the computer doing that. But we can still talk Mets baseball. Yeah, I got to make that money. Make that money. All right, so it's just has to go through Congress at this point. I like it. I got to get my taxes done here. First week of April, I'm going to try to get them done. Plow through. So. All right, Vientos is hit by the pitch here. It ricocheted off of Vientos, and the catcher is down as well. All right, we are on our way to Chipotle. We're on our way. We got to pick up from Chipotle that we're gonna do. Savage Batman, how's it going? Jonathan, how's it going? Appreciate you guys. We're out doing some food delivery and talking New York Mets baseball as we go here. So Mets have runners on first and second. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. I won't be able to catch every single one of your comments while I'm driving, of course. Online Poker Rush. The Mets got to prove on the field that they're not the little brothers. Like, that's for sure. That's got to be a... That's a thing that they're gonna have to. They've got to show it on the field. So online poker rush. That's what Savage Batman says all the time. He comes in. That's his catchphrase in life. He's a Red Sox fan, so you gotta forgive him. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm the most realistic, even-keeled sports fans out there, I think. I'm not, like, hyper-depressive. You know, I'm not like, oh, this is like, the Mets are amazing. I'm not like the Mets are horrible. I'm just pretty, like, in the end, I can't really say much. We haven't won a world championship in 40 years, basically, so... But yeah, so we're out here making some money today, covering the Mets as best as we can. It might be a little bit better today because of March Madness basketball. And normally, like, Friday nights are great, but I cannot be out tonight because my son has baseball practice tonight. So, the Guardians. And we got to pop out there to end the inning. So it will be 0-0. Neither team got a hit in the first inning, but both teams had base runners. The Cardinals had a walk. The Mets had a walk and a hit by pitch. Cardinals catcher looked like they actually got the worst of it. So we're headed to the top of the second inning. I hope you guys all got Dairy Queen ice cream cones the first day of spring. Rita's was also giving away Italian ice cream for those who have Rita's here. We made it to Dairy Queen. We did not make it to Rita's. If I had known about both, I'd probably done the Rita's instead, but it was all right. I took the family there, and it was good. So it is officially spring. Of course, down in Florida, it's always spring or summer. It's never winter, never fall. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. MetropoliFins, we're YouTube's smallest New York Mets Miami Dolphins channel. Cheering on two teams that haven't won a championship between the two of them in almost 40 years. That's how you know I'm a loyal fan. Yeah, you keep telling me that Brett Baty with his 333 average. Sorry about that little lip. There's all sorts of random spots in my town that have bad internet coverage, so that's how it goes. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Yeah, I'm not super worried about getting into the playoffs per se, or really even seeding in the playoffs. I'm just concerned that my team, and I think any baseball fan, basically you should just be wanting your team to be hot going into the playoffs. I think that's probably the most important thing. I mean, if you look at the National League last year, by far, the two hottest teams coming in, of course you want to have talent, but you want a team that has talent, but is also just like hot going into the playoffs. And the Dodgers and the Mets were definitely two of the hottest teams in baseball in the National League going into last year. And they made a nice run for it. So I do think that matters a lot. Oh man, we got throwing some Yankee shade in here. My goodness. Y'all are relentless. All right, so here's the deal. Rivalries. Oops, sorry about that. Oops, sorry about that. We got some, like I said, we got some weird internet connectivity issues over here. Go Bravos, man, we got everything going. I prefer cold salsa. That's my thing for sure. All right, let's see. What did they get though? They got a veggie burrito with beans. Oh, you're gonna get a burrito. You can't get the veggie. That ball just got hit over Marte's head, so there's a double there. All right, I'm gonna go pick up this order. So everybody, keep it family friendly in the chat. I'll update you guys while I am in there if there's any sort of delays. All right, so. All right, I'll be back. All right, y'all are staying pretty good. Pretty good. Their order was ready, so that's good for us. All right, so that was the end of the top of the second inning. By the way, Clay Holmes got out of that without giving up any runs. Definitely appreciate you guys being here today. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. So we are just out doing some food delivery. Unfortunately, I can't just be sitting and watching the game. Brief little score updates. There's a bunch of games that are 0-0. The Astros lead the other half of the Cardinals 3-0. And then for those of you following your brackets, I will give you those scores really quick. There's what, 1 game, 2 games, 3 games going on right now. So number 9 Baylor is up 41-34 on Mississippi State. That just started the second half. Robert Morris is hanging in there with Alabama. They're down 40-36, and Iowa State is beating Lipscomb 6-2. And I believe that is it. Those are the 3 games that are going on right now in the NCAA bracket. I know, Daniel. I'll win you over eventually. I'll win you over. Brett Beatty will be a starter in the major leagues next season, guaranteed. Whether or not with the Mets, I don't know. But I see nothing but good things to come for Brett Beatty. He's been humbled. You know, it came up, and then he's been humbled since then. And he keeps working hard, doesn't quit, doesn't give up. I see everything I need to see from Brett Beatty. All right, let's do this. I got to take a picture of my... I know there's weird stuff that we have to do for food delivery things that you never knew from the back end, so. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't know much about Carlos Mendoza before we hired him. And so whoever in the Mets organization figured out that Mendoza was the right play I mean, they deserve a major raise. Because I know I was kind of, I will admit, I was kind of on the Craig Counsell bandwagon. And I realized, like, oh man, that was like, I think we dodged a bullet on that one. He just went for the money. So every parking lot is like so jammed up and busy today. Just got a mess. It's just a mess of parking stuff. By the way, even if you are not a subscriber to MLB TV, this Mets game is free on MLB TV. It is the free game of the day. There you go. Yeah, it's a three-way stop. I got to teach people how to drive down here because they don't know what they're doing. I'm going to cut past all of that exit, which is... Woo! Oh, yeah, I just got to see the replay, too, by the way, while I was doing that order, the Brett Beatty replay. So it looked really good. All right, we are in the bottom of the second inning. It is still nothing. So where I am, it's starting to warm up, but I'm leaving my sweatshirt on because it's my Mets shirt. I'm not wearing my Mets jersey, so I'm trying to show team pride, but it is getting warm in here really quick. Luis Angel Acuna is at the plate. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, still a nothing score. Cardinals got the 1 hit in the top of the second. Mets don't have a hit yet, a couple of base runners. And Acuna's going to ground out to short here. And that is going to retire the Mets in the second inning, so it will be 0-0. Hey, Corey, how's it going? We're out doing some delivery and baseball today, so kind of like what we used to do on the delivery channel when this is what birthed out this sports channel. So kicking it old school, doing some Mets coverage today. I hope you are doing well. So, and we're currently, for those of you who care on the delivery side, we're currently delivering a Chipotle order. I'm in super casual mode right now. I'm just doing earn by time on DoorDash. So, it's just about making a little bit of money in the middle of the afternoon. I'm not trying to make big buckos here. If you guys care, let me know. I'll share what I make on each delivery if you guys care. Well, that is true, Daniel. I don't think anybody's going to argue that one. I actually a couple of catering orders today that I delivered, and so under a normal Friday, I could actually probably be home right now and streaming the game from home, and then I would just go out and deliver Friday night. But like I said earlier, my son has baseball practice tonight, and I'm one of the coaches, so I need to be at practice. So that means I gotta do a few more deliveries. I'm sure delivering's gonna be fire tonight, though, with it being a Friday and the basketball tournament going on. I'm sure it's gonna be absolutely great. So, but yeah, we're just chunking away. I thought about going home, and I was like, then I had delivery that was taking me away from home. All right, we'll just stream and deliver at the same time. Kicking it old school, hang out with you guys for sure. It's not going to be in-depth analysis, just kind of talking baseball, hanging out, talking life, that sort of stuff. So it's like the casual version. It's like the casual version of a live stream. All right, we're headed to the top of the third inning here. Clay Holmes is pitching for the Mets, giving up one big hit, one walk, but no runs. And there's a foul ball. I'm going off the commentary because I've got it in my ear, so that's how I know what's going on. So going off the commentary of the game. But you guys will have to chime in if you see something like super cool happening, like Brett Beatty's play, because I can't give you that description there if I'm not actually watching it. I think it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. How are your brackets doing? My whole daughter picked hers for the, like, all by herself with, like, other than me just giving her the general principles of a bracket, which I always review with my kids every year. We've picked, family has picked brackets every year, like, that the kids have been around. Like, we would, when they were younger, we just picked it by the cutest mascot and stuff like that. But anyway, my oldest daughter, she got 14 out of 16 right yesterday. So I got 12. My wife outsourced hers to AI, and AI got 13 right. Whatever the ESPN smart bracket. So my wife outsourced hers and got more right than me actually trying to make good picks. So Daniel, on Clay Holmes, the big question that I have is not really about March, April, May. My question is August, September, October. Is his arm going to be able to hold up that long? Now, I think the good news is that by the time you get to August or September, if his arm is kind of getting tired, you could probably switch him to the bullpen, because we should have enough pitchers, because Sproat should be up by then, I think, barring something, assuming everything goes as planned. You'd have Mania, Montas, Sproat, Senga, and Peterson for sure. So I do think that there's that option is on the table. You pitch him as a starter as long as he can go, and then whenever his arm kind of loses velocity and stuff from that point forward, then you could move him to the bullpen for the remainder of the season. Yeah, I guess maybe, I don't know if it was the ESPN or whatever. I used the, I saw ESPN Tournament Challenge. That's the app we used. That's just where I have that's where I have our account set up. So I do so little on ESPN. I only use their Tournament Challenge solely out of habit. Do you have any concerns, Stan, of just longevity? By the way, there's 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd with a runner on first. One of the things that's great about Holmes, they're saying, is he's got such a high ground ball rate, so he's probably not going to be giving up a ton of home runs, which that's really nice, because home runs are just so demoralizing. So demoralizing when you give up like key home runs and stuff like that. So I mean, Seth Lugo showed us that it can be done, and he's kind of paved this way of showing what it looks like to be a reliever and then convert to a starter. I mean, the irony is the Yankees did to Clay Holmes the same thing we did to Soto, or so that the same thing we did. My goodness, too many things. All right, Mets got out of the inning there. Mets got out of that inning. Lugo, not Soto, Lugo. Because Lugo wanted to be a starting pitcher, and it would have been really nice had we been able to hold on to him, but Clay Holmes is kind of like redemption for losing Lugo. And he's shown that it can be done. Yeah, I know, it's true. There's so much more available now than what there used to be, too. So it does make a big difference. I'm coming to you guys from sunny Southwest Florida. I have hopes and dreams that maybe by this time next season, you know, spring training next year, I can actually be at a point where I can go to actual spring training games live and do some live coverage and stuff from there. We got to go to one because we got free tickets, and that one wasn't even a Mets game, but so close. I actually have a buddy. One of my friends lives in Port St. Lucie, so I even have a place that I can bum out for a couple of days if I need to. All right, so I'm on the way. I'm dropping off a Chipotle order to somebody. A veggie burrito with beans. I'm glad that I'm just dropping it off and not staying. That's for sure. Gerald, how's it going? Appreciate you being here today. We are at commercial break right now, so you're not missing anything. It is nothing. Hayden Sanger is leading off for the Mets here in the bottom of the third inning. He is trying to get the last catcher position. I personally favor Jackson Reitz as the backup catcher. Just because Reitz has a little bit of major league experience. Hayden Sanger, he's going to reach on an error. It was like a routine ground ball to the pitcher, I believe. It's really hard when I don't know the players on the Cardinals and I'm just hearing play-by-play. But booted. So it's just a soft grounder. Hayden Sanger's going to get on base. So Mets get the leadoff runner on. Hey, sometimes it just matters that you get on base. All right, Brandon Nimmo is up. We're back to the top of the lineup here. I'm glad to see Brandon's back in the lineup again and playing outfield. Obviously, there's going to be lots of days off for Brandon, especially early in the season. You want to make sure he's healthy all the way through. And, of course, you want to make sure he's healthy for years to come, too. So you don't want any sort of lingering stuff for Nimmo. But I also know Nimmo is going to want to play as much as he possibly can. You guys like the bearded Nimmo this year? He says he wants to look more mature because he's a father, but honestly, when you become a dad with like babies in the house, it's just so much easier to have a beard, not have to worry about it. Yeah, Ryan, we're trying to do some live. I've done a few lives throughout the spring, trying to do more throughout the year. So like, yeah, we're hardcore here. We're just kind of gotten going with this as spring started. You're a Broncos fan, Gerald. Okay, so I'm Mets and Dolphins. That's my combo. You're Mets and Broncos. I've got both of my sisters and their families. They both live out in Colorado Springs, and my brother-in-law is a big Mets fan as well, but he's Mets Jets. And then my other brother-in-law, I don't even know if he has a baseball team, but he's Patriots. So our whole when we all get together, we agree on baseball, disagree on football. So no, I mean, okay, you're Rockies Broncos. Okay. Do you live out in Colorado area? Oh, I got Sanger moved over to second there on that play. So for the Mets rotation, I'm fine with what we're starting with, even with the injuries out right now. Like, our starting five is going to be, not necessarily in this order, but it'll be Holmes, Senga, Peterson. I feel really good on those three. And then I'm pretty sure McGill's going to make it. And then with his last couple performances, maybe Blackburn actually does make the fifth spot in the rotation. So, and then of course, knowing Minaya and Montas should be coming back, and then knowing Sprode is on the way, and knowing that we didn't burn any prospects and trades on spring training like deals, that we're going to have capital. We're going to have trade capital at the trade deadline if we need somebody. So I feel okay. Like, I'm not going to say we have the best pitching staff in the majors or anything like that, but we have the bats that can overcome some poor pitching performances. I like Max Kranick, how he's been doing for the bullpen. There's some concern on Edwin Diaz, but I also think, again, we can be patient, and one of the ways that you can kind of handle the Diaz situation is just not get into too many save situations early on. Diaz is not the number one closer in baseball anymore. He's past that point. It's just the reality, right? Time is undefeated when it comes to athletes. But we don't need him to be the number one closer. We just need him to be solid, and really reliable in the really important games. So, okay. So Savage, you live up in upstate New York, right? And so it's cool. We got all these connections. We're building this like interactive map of sports fans who are all misplaced. So at least I live in Florida for the Dolphins, but I've never actually been to a Dolphins game in person. I've only been to one NFL game in person, and that was a Vikings game back when I lived up in, I don't know if I was in Minnesota or Wisconsin at the time because I lived in both, but I've been to one. Have you been to Fenway, Savage? Have you actually been to a Red Sox game? Fenway's the one I need to get to. I got to Old Yankee Stadium, and I got to Wrigley Field. Fenway's the one I need to get to. I mean, I'm hoping that they never close Fenway, but you just never know nowadays. I never would have guessed they would have closed the Old Yankee Stadium either. So it's like, I need to get to Fenway. That's on my list. That's so cool, Stan. That's really awesome. And you've never been there. You got to get there someday. I have not been to the new Citi Field yet either. So I got to the old Shea, but I've never seen Citi Field. All right, Cardinals have a leadoff single in the top of the fourth inning. It is still nothing Mets here. Obviously, we don't care too much about scores. We're just looking for performances and stuff like that. Yeah, have I been to Coors? I think I've been to Coors. I was supposed to go. Have I been there for sure? Like, I bought tickets one time and we got hailed and snowed out. But I'm trying to remember if I made it another time. And then I've been to, I don't know if it's still Busch Stadium in St. Louis. That's definitely one of my favorite stadiums. Went to the old Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. I was supposed to go to, I don't remember if it was like Comiskey or, anyway, supposed to go to a White Sox game and that got rained out. I have so many disappointing baseball stories, like games I was supposed to go to that I never got to. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I want to be able to do this like sitting at home as much as possible. And, so the best thing that you can do to help me with that, just hit that like, hit that subscribe, and doing that. I appreciate y'all so much. But on days where I have to work and I got to deliver, that's at least the one good thing, is that I can do this. We can talk baseball and talk Mets. It won't be like an active play-by-play. It'll just be kind of updating on the game here, like it is. Not like the play-by-play we sat down. By the way, we did do I got up early twice this week for Cubs Dodgers. So, and definitely invite you, if you guys are new to the channel, check out some of the other live streams that we've done. Just kind of get the vibe of what that looks like. See if this is a home for you. So, yeah, I know it's so hard. Like even Cubs Dodgers, I only found like one person streaming it. Hey, Beatty with a caught line drive, double play, throws to first to double him off. I'm telling you what, guys, this having Beatty, Vientos, Acuna, like it's fun. And I mean, I can see there being days, I know he doesn't want to hear it, but I can see there being days you can let Lindor DH and just have Vientos play third, Acuna play short, Beatty play second. You can have days where you give Pete the DH role and let Vientos play first, let Beatty play third. There's a lot of flexibility that is available within this entire roster and lineup with these young guns here coming up. It is a great problem to have. It's absolutely a great problem to have. All right, we're arriving. I got to figure out where exactly this is going to. It's dropping off to some business here. I'm not sure which one. Let me just get parked. Let's see. Looks like it's maybe around the backside. Looks like it's going. Oh, main entrance is on the side. Yep. There we go. Clay Holmes gets out of another inning. It is still nothing. You got to be, as a Broncos fan though, you got to be excited. There's a lot of hope there now. So, all right, we're on commercial break, which is perfect because I got to go do this delivery real quick. I think I got to take off the Met shirt, sweatshirt. Sorry guys, it's getting a little too warm even with the AC running here. All right. All right, I'll be right back. Here, we'll throw the sweatshirt up here, though. All right. All right. Well, that delivery, that Chipotle, just so you guys kind of get perspective on. Now, we're in Florida. There's different laws in different states, but that was $10.20 that we got. So, hey. Make $10 hanging out with you guys and talking baseball at the same time. That's not too shabby at all. The gray area got a Braves fan. What is your so I like asking this question because I'm honestly like, look, I like rivalries and stuff, but I like just digging into the roots of things. So as a Braves fan, what is your biggest concern? And I'll kind of ask everybody this for all your teams. What's your biggest concern going into this baseball season? John Rocker. I heard a story about John Rocker just recently. I forget what it was. But I heard some story about him. Like, I had not heard that name in a long time. Tell you what, Mets fans hated Rocker and Rocker hated the Mets, but man, that was fun baseball. There was just, like, that was so intense. The Mets fans versus Rocker versus Mets fans. That was like some crazy stuff. All right, 1-2 strikes. Vientos is at the plate for the Mets here. Another. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Shouting match. Get rid of Yoshida. So we're just driving around trying to find some more orders here. We're kind of not in a great place to get food delivery orders right here. The biggest concern, they don't have Juan Soto. I feel like if the Yankees are not, and I'm not saying they will be, but assuming the Yankees are in the playoff race come trade deadline, I think you'll see the Yankees make a huge trade at the trade deadline. Like, blockbuster deal. Beatty with a double. Brett Beatty keeps hitting. I'm telling you guys, I have never understood the Beatty hate. One of the biggest things, and this is for any player that you're kind of maybe impatient with on your team, if they were either in college or in the minors in 2020 when baseball shut down, basically, you have to realize that a lot of players, even some of these high school kids, right, they missed an entire year of development at a crucial part of their career. And all of these guys, you're seeing a lot of these guys are late bloomers, and it's the 2020 effect of basically missing an entire baseball season. So I think that you're going to see more over these next couple years. You're going to see some of these names that were big names that everyone gave up on, like Beatty. I mean, people already give up on Vientos last year. You know, people, like, it's part of it is just the general culture. Like, that's just like the New York sports culture. Like, but beyond that, there's just lots of players that were just like affected by that so much. And not saying that they're all going to become superstars or anything like that, but you're seeing these guys who took like that extra year. Alec Boehm from Philadelphia, even Joe Adell, who was like, they called him a quadruple A player for a while. Looks like he might be starting to catch on, you know, on the major league roster and stuff. Like, that year, 1 year of baseball development lost is like, it's tough. But you got to also trust that the talent's going to shine through in some of those situations too. So yeah, no, I mean, so I think the Garrett Cole injury probably is going to hurt the Yankees more than losing Soto, because you can make up some of Soto, and you obviously can't make up all of Soto. There's only one of him, but you can make up some of that. But it's a whole lot harder to basically replace your key starting pitcher with now your sixth string starting pitcher. That's a tough jump, right? So for the Mets, having Montas and Minaya out, like, that hurts. But you know, you already have three guys who could have been in the running for the number one starting pitcher anyway. You know, for sure too, in Holmes and Senga, and I think Peterson low key could end up having he could have a really good season. I'll just say that. I don't want to put any crazy predictions out, but again, Peterson's one of those guys. He came up and it was kind of like very much an ebb and flow, and is he going to be good, and people ready to get rid of him. Like, Mets fans should know, Justin Turner, anytime you get impatient with a player, all you should tell yourself is Justin Turner. Look at who Justin Turner became. Look at who Zach Wheeler became. All this, like, getting too impatient with players. When you start to have a farm system and a pitching lab and a hitting lab, and you're not constantly having to trade your guys, like, there's just no panic mode here. There's zero panic mode, and sorry, I can't. You guys chat amongst yourselves too. I'll get caught up when I get parked somewhere here in a little bit. I know where we're going. We're gonna go to Turco Taco. It's a taco place in town, and we'll go see if we can find any orders there. But the whole thing is, stop, in general, no matter what team you're a fan of, stop rooting against players on your team. Even if you're frustrated with them, even if, like, you should never root against them. Like, I never want to see a player fail when they're on the field. I might want to see them traded, but I don't want to see them fail. I want to see them succeed, because if they succeed, it's going to help the team. And if they succeed, even if we're going to get rid of them, then we'll get more in return for them. So even the players you hate the most on your team, always cheer for them to do well. Sorry, that's not meant to be a sermon. That's just something about sports fandom I don't really get. But no, the Mets are setting up. They're behind. They need to get caught up to what the Dodgers kind of system is here, but they're getting close. Where you can go out, you make a couple of key free agent signings, you make sure it's a place that free agents want to come to. And I mean, if you believe the reporting, which I don't have any reason not to, Soto turned down more money to sign elsewhere. I'm going to guess that elsewhere was either was probably Boston or Toronto, maybe, or San Francisco. But by the way, we're top of the fifth inning here for the Mets. Still nothing with one out. Clay Holmes is pitching phenomenally again today. This is it, right? This should be his last start before opening day. If I'm doing the math right. Maybe I would prefer, I'm with you in the sense I wish we had an ace, but I don't know if we need an ace yet. I think we have, Ryan, we have the offense to overcome some things. And once Manaea and Montas is back, we're going to have, like, some of the best 4s and 5s in baseball. And I think one way to overcome needing an ace is to have pitching depth, where every single day you have a guy who can put up an ace-like performance, even if they're not an ace every single outing. And so, obviously, I don't think the Mets can handle too many more injuries, either to their offense or their staff. We need to stall for time till Brandon Sprode is ready, and till Manaea is supposed to be back in mid-May, I believe, and Montas early June. But I mean, essentially, the Mets are going to be getting 2 pitchers at the trade deadline, assuming they come back healthy. Manaea and Montas will both be back then. So I'm going to go park here while we wait for some orders to come in, and then I can get caught up on chat with you guys too. So I promise you I'm not ignoring you. I just got to keep my eyes on the road. No accidents on the live stream. I do that when nobody's watching me. I'm kidding. All right, they said they just gave a Sean Manaea update. Actually, they said the last MRI for Sean Manaea came back clean, so he is going to start from scratch now. Right, so basically starting like his first day of spring training. Crash and go viral, Ricky Ricks. Yeah, If it gets you monetized, that's all that matters, right? If it gets you monetized. Yeah, no, I mean, this is all up here. I'm at a stoplight now, but this is all up. I'm all hands-free with what I do. I've got two mounts. I've got, probably can't see, but I've got my I got my delivery phone is mounted, and then streaming phone is mounted, and I don't even look at the streaming phone when I'm driving, actively driving. Yeah, on a stoplight, it's a little different. But yeah, no. So I have another YouTube channel that's all about like getting free, and I've done a lot of food delivery streams on there, so I learned a lot. It's also where I learned how to do sports streaming though too. So yeah, I got the two phones. One to stream and one to try to find orders and make money. Try it. We're waiting for a DoorDash block to open up here. So, and my wife and kids, they'll be at school late today, so I'll be with you guys through the whole game. So we'll be all the way through, and so we are top of the fifth inning. 2 outs. This should be Holmes' last batter of the day. I don't have a pitch count on him at the moment. That was his 77th pitch. So a foul off there, 3 balls, 2 strikes. So, I mean, Holmes is basically ready. Do you guys realize that Clay Holmes is pitching more pitches in spring training than the Cubs and the Dodgers starters were in regular season games in Japan? That's going to be a walk. So Holmes going to have, obviously they're going to watch pitch count here. There's no, like, he has to stay in 5 innings to get the win, care about that sort of stuff today. We're going to go park in a parking lot of a local taco joint and see if there's any orders that come through. And then while we're doing that, now I can actually watch the game and do that. But Clay Holmes, they're going to try to get him through, but I'm sure they have a pretty hard pitch limit. So this is it, though. So yeah, the Cubs pulled out their starter who was pitching a no-hitter at 69 pitches in a real game. Yeah, you got to feel bad for Savage. He's a Cowboys fan, but he's not we had a lot of fun on our football streams this year. He's not Savage doesn't think that the Cowboys are the greatest team in the NFL right now or anything like that. I was cheering for the Cowboys to hire Deion Sanders. I was all in on Deion Sanders to the Cowboys. I thought that would have been beautiful. It would have been nonstop content for football commentators and analysts and streamers. Could you imagine Deion and Deion as the head coach in Dallas with Jerry Jones? And then the Cowboys trade their whole draft to get Shedeur Sanders. That would have just been absolute beautiful. Yeah, the Cowboys were actually not that many plays away from having a winning record last season. They just had a lot of them. All right, we got to strike out to get out of the inning. So Clay Holmes completes 5 shutout innings in his final tune-up before the regular season. So of anything and everything that you could want out of this game, that's probably the most important game. The Mets bats absolutely crushed it yesterday. So the fact that they're not hitting today, I'm not too worried about. It's not a full Mets lineup. There's no Soto. All right, we're parked. I can unbuckle. There's no reason for Jerry to Jerry Jones' identity is the Cowboys. Like, what would he do? Like, you could sell a team, he'd get however many $1 billion, and what would he do with it? He'd be bored out of his mind. You know, he's in the golden age of his life, and I wouldn't say, if I own a team, I don't care how much fans, like, we as fans, we want our team sold, and like I can say as a Mets fan, having Steve Cohen as our owner is huge and way better than the ownership group that we used to have. But there is no way, if I were an owner of a team, that I would care one bit if all the fans hated me. There's only so many professional sports franchises, and if you happen to own one, it's got to take a lot. Got to take a lot to want to get rid of that. Yeah, well, what team just sold for? A team just sold, right, for $4 billion. Was that yesterday? I read that. Somebody. Oh, we'll do a basketball update here because some of those games went final. All right. Yeah, was it the Celtics? I think this. Yeah, it's the Celtics that just sold, right? Like $4 billion. Oh, maybe they're not final yet. We're coming down to the wire. All right. Here's basketball updates here really quick for you guys. We got Baylor is up 71-67. Leah, how's it going? Baylor's up 71-67 on Mississippi State. That's 1 minute and 19 seconds left in the game there. Robert Morris is hanging in there with Alabama. I'll tell you what. This is the, if you're rooting for that 15-2, it's 62-58 with 8 minutes and 36 seconds left. If you care about that, that's on True TV. I don't know why. Doesn't it always seem like True TV gets all the upsets? They get the big ones. Number 3, Iowa State is beating Lipscomb 40-24. And early on, Colorado State and Memphis are tied at 15. That's with 11:40. So if you're looking for bracket busters, Robert Morris taking out Alabama would destroy a bunch of brackets. And of course, all those of you who hate the SEC and hate the SEC got 14 teams in. We'd all be rejoicing on that. Anytime the SEC loses. I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan for college, so, which is kind of sad because, yeah, their baseball team has not been as good in recent years as they used to be. They used to be dominant in baseball. All right. I think my stream was behind a little bit. I'm just trying to get caught up and refreshed here. Mets are up in the bottom of the 5th. There are 2 outs. Ginger to Ginger. Awesome, Leah. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. I can't believe that they just have a list of the batters in the MLB app, not the actual. Nimmo drives this ball out to left field, but that is going to be caught to retire the side. All right, so that's a good question. I like that question, Ryan. Is, as a Mets fan, should we be more concerned about the Phillies or the Braves? So I think that's a good question. This game is going to the top of 6. We're 0-0. Clay Holmes is coming out of the game. Clay Holmes pitched 82 pitches today. Think he's ready for the season to start? Think the Phillies all day? I just feel like mentally, the Mets have struggled to overcome the Braves more than they've struggled to overcome the Phillies. Like, I feel like we kind of, not that Philly's not good, I just feel like as a mental game, I feel like mentally we just handle. Hey, thank you guys for the subs. Appreciate it. That is true. It's just something about the Mets going down to Atlanta at the end of the season there, I feel like, oh man, it just feels like we just can't win those clutch games in Atlanta. I don't know, that's just what my gut kind of says. So, obviously, you know, on paper, I think the Phillies look like they have the better lineup, but the better roster, not just lineup, I guess. All right, we got a DoorDash slot, so we'll see. We might have to move around to find some good orders here while we're out here trying to find. Or if I have to do a grocery shopping order, we'll go grocery shopping together too. That is true. No, I wish that the Mets had held on to Wheeler. I mean, if you look at who the Mets had a couple years back, you know, a lot of them. Seth Lugo has developed into a great starter. Wheeler is good. Steven Matz even had a couple of really good seasons. I think he's kind of done that too. No, I mean, the Phillies are built to win playoff series for sure. Yeah, DeGrom. I'm cheering for DeGrom. I know there's some Mets fans that want to see DeGrom fail, but I'm all in. I got multiple reasons. I mean, but I really want to see DeGrom string together a few more years so he can make it. It's going to be tough, but I want to see him at least make a legit Hall of Fame push. And if he could somehow manage to stay healthy for the next, 4 or 5 years, he doesn't have to be vintage DeGrom. He just has to, pitch well. If he could get like 5 more healthy seasons, and I know that sounds like such a huge ask for DeGrom, but he is at his peak. He is one of the best pitchers I've ever seen pitch. For our third base right now, it's Vientos is probably going to be starting, and then Beatty will occasionally spell Vientos at third. So I've been cautious on Vientos having a repeat season because there is more film out on him, but at least so far in spring training, he does not look like he's had any regression yet. So, yeah. No, I mean, I think it's going to be a great battle. I think it's going to be a great battle, and I think it's also going to play to the favor of the Dodgers too, because you're going to have 3 teams in the NL East who will all be beating up on each other. I actually think the division I'm most curious about is what is the NL Central going to look like? You've got some of these. I wonder, is this the year that Ellie can kind of bring the Reds over the hump? Can the Pirates string something together? Like, I think there could be a lot of, like, the NL Central would be a fun division to cover this season. All right. Yeah, oh, they were good. I was doing, like, fantasy baseball in the days of Randy Johnson and Pedro, and it was like, man, if you could have either of those guys, it was like, it was so nice. Yeah, Barry Zito's he was good too. The days with, what was it? It was Zito and Hudson and Mulder. Was that what it was? Mark Mulder? I haven't heard that name in a while. Those 3 were really good. Jordan Walker's batting for the Cardinals here right now as we speak. I'm just trying to reload the stream here to see. I didn't catch who was pitching. Oh, wow. Clay Holmes is back out. Can't believe it. That's crazy. I guess he's fully stretched out, huh? Yeah, that was a good. Yeah, Porcello kind of fell off fast, but he had a nice little peak. So I'm assuming, I don't have the feed here, but I'm assuming we're doing a pitching change now. So they actually brought, they brought Holmes back out to start the 6th. Yeah. Clayton Kershaw, even an old Clayton Kershaw, but Kershaw is your 5. That's nuts. All right. Huáscar Brazoban is now in for the Mets. Hey, how's it going? Yep. New York Mets, Miami Dolphins, MetropoliFins. I spent a long time trying to figure the name out. How's it going, Behold? Appreciate you hanging out with us here today. Mets and Cardinals game still nothing. Clay Holmes goes 5 1/3 shutout baseball in his final tune-up before opening day. Mets opening day is next Thursday. So I have not looked at the baseball schedule and the Mets schedule to see how that combines, because my son plays Little League and I'm a coach. I can't, as much as I love the Mets, I love my son more. So he's got to come first. And but if that doesn't interfere, we'll be live for that game. I'm gonna be yeah. Yep. I someone's got to bring out the Fitzpatrick beard. This was how thick that beard was. It's still, I mean, I know he still has it, but it's crazy. Like, mine is like wispy compared to his. Mine's thick compared to a lot of beards, but Fitz magic, man. He has one of the I don't know how well known it is outside of Dolphin circles, but that one throw that he made where he was having his helmet ripped off of him while he's like almost being sacked, and he just heaves the ball up. That's so crazy. That's like one of the craziest throws I've ever seen. Not necessarily greatest, because I mean it wasn't like a Super Bowl winning throw or anything like that, but that was just such a crazy throw. The Fitz magic. MLB just shut down the stream on me. Come on, MLB. I don't know what's going on with the game if I can't listen to the game. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. There we go. There's a runner on first with 2 outs here. Runner on first with 2 outs for the Cardinals. This game is also the free game of the day, so if you are near a computer, you can also watch it for free, even if you don't have whatever it's on, SNY or anything else. So there's a stolen base there, so 2 outs in the top of the 6th, runner on second for the Cardinals. Brazoban is pitching now for the Mets. Clay Holmes did 5 1/3 shutout ball. Two ball and 2 strike count here. Top of the 6th inning. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Sorry if I'm not keeping up with all of the comments. But when we park in different places, then I'll get caught up in reading everything. All right, that is the end of the inning. Brazoban gets out of it. It is 0-0, headed to the bottom of the 6th. So unlike yesterday, I think the Mets scored 10 runs in the game yesterday against the Nationals. Absolutely put a walloping on the Nationals pitcher yesterday. Today, it's like no offense. No offense, all pitching. So we're just out and about looking for some food delivery orders. So got to make some money here, got to pay the bills, but also talking Mets baseball with you. So appreciate you guys being here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Unfortunately, I can't be just sitting and watching the game like I normally do, but at least we can still be hanging out, talking baseball. Doing that. So the game is at commercial break, at least as far as I can tell. Based on my, at least it is. Got to navigate some busy little back roads and side things here. So hang tight 1 second. I'll be back with all of you. Lots of pedestrians, lots of traffic. It's a Friday afternoon. Sorry, everybody. Be back with you guys shortly. Alright. They're going to let that person go, but they don't want to actually go. They looked like they were letting me go, and then they stopped. So, hang tight. I'll be with you guys and update you on the Mets here in just a second. We just got to get off the street and get parked.
Right on Park Street.
Once we get parked, I will get all caught up with all of you. Got some roads closed back here for an art show, looks like. Maybe there's an art show going on. All right, we're gonna go park by a place that we normally park. that we call Magic Dumpster. So we do that on our other channel. It's not a this channel thing, but for those of you who are hang out with us on the other side, I just got to get parked where I thought I was going to park. Couldn't park. The road was closed. It's crazy down here. Crazy, crazy. Can't even park where I normally park by Magic Dumpster. It is nutso. Alright, let me do this then. We're going to move somewhere else then, all together. All right, sorry, we got an update here. The Mets scored. It is 1-0 Mets. I don't even know what happened. Y'all got to help me out. Brett Beatty launches one. It is gone! A Brett Beatty bash! Home run! Home run, New York Mets. Brett Beatty is absolutely on fire this spring. It is 3-0 Mets on the Brett Beatty. See ya later. So Simone Juan had just run into a bad out right before that. And so he was on second, and the ball was hit in front of him, and he got thrown out at third, which was a bad play, but it didn't end up mattering because Brett Beatty bashed it. Rob, Jack, how's it going? Appreciate you guys being here with us today. Hope you are doing well. Well, there we go. There's a little bit of offensive excitement for the Mets here. So we're rocking and rolling, talking baseball, lots of good baseball, and some football conversation today, too. We're going to get you guys updated on March Madness here shortly, too, because there was a game, there was a bracket buster that was close. It's still close, but it's not super close. Alabama's up 77-68 on Robert Morris. Baylor did end up beating Mississippi State as well, so... There's like 3 minutes left. I'm sure the crowd is all in on cheering for Robert Morris. Well, there we go. We got a little Mets magic going for you today. 3-0 Mets. There's a pitching change for the Cardinals right now. I think they brought someone new in for the start of that inning, and that did not work out so well for him. So it is 3-0 Mets. They are still up. But there's a pitching change for the Cardinals, so. Appreciate everybody hanging out on this Friday afternoon, talking baseball. A week from today, the season will already be underway, so. Commercial break right now as we speak. We are still on commercial break for this pitching change for the Cardinals, so you're not missing any of the action right now. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Talking all things sports, baseball, football, Mets, Dolphins, little March Madness tournament. So we're just trying to find some orders to deliver. It's pretty slow, which is kind of, I knew it would probably be, but kind of also still have to come out and put the work in as well, so. Donovan Walton is now batting for the Mets. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning, the Mets have already scored 3 in the sixth. The big blast being a Brett Beatty 2-run bomb. Yeah, they're talking right now on the broadcast about these guys who get sent to the minors and then have to come back and work their way back up, and it's a tough thing. And you know these guys, they want to get to the point where they can just stick at the major league level. So, but you got to take advantage of opportunities, even spring training. Spring training matters, even if the results of the games don't matter. It matters a lot for guys who are on the cusp of making the team or going back to the minors or whatever. All right, that ends the inning, but the Mets do score 3. They are up 3-0. We're going to the top of the 7th inning already. So this game is flying. Absolutely flying. All right, we're gonna park over by the mall. See if we can find a shady spot to park under, and then I can get caught up. I think chat's calmed down a little bit right now, but maybe with maybe the Beatty home run will bring some people back here in a little bit. Aaron Judge is overrated. Come on, Savage. Tell me what stats he would have to put up that he would no longer be overrated. All right, we're parked again, once again. I'd like to get some deliveries here. Oh yeah, I want to see when the Mets play. So my son does have a baseball game. Looks like Alabama's pulling away from Robert Morris here in the end. They're up by 11 with like a minute 45 left. All right, we got to drive to the other side of the mall. It doesn't matter what he puts on. Well, there, that pretty much answers the question. That is a completely emotional decision. Would it change if he was traded to the Red Sox? Would that change your perspective at all? Huáscar Brazaban is back out for the Mets this inning. He got the final 2 outs of the top of the 5th after Clay Holmes went 5 1/3. Pitched 88 pitches, I believe, for Clay Holmes. All right. They're doing a Clay Holmes interview right now as we speak. Clay Holmes says he felt strong today. He was happy to get through, get to see some of the batters a third time. Wouldn't change. Even on the Red Sox, you still would think he's overrated. That's some deep-seated dislike. All right. Oh, Robert Morris, they've closed it up a little bit. They're only down by 8. Minute 12. That would be the biggest upset of the tournament so far. All right, I'm going to see when the Mets opening day game is. I hope it's a day game, because then I can cover it if it's a day game. If it's a night game, I'm not going to be able to cover it. So, please be a day game. It's at 4:10. No. Well, hold on. What time is my son's game? Is it the late game? I'm probably not gonna be able to do it. What a bummer. Gotta miss Mets opening day. $6 p.m. game. Maybe we'll just go on. Maybe I'll be live for like the first inning or something like that. That's too bad it's not a 1 p.m. game. Or it'll rain. Maybe it can rain on Thursday here and get a rain out. All right, let's see. Let me get you guys updated on the game here. The Cardinals do have 2 runners on, 1 out in the top of the 7th. Stolen base there. Throw it down to third. It looked like it was really close. Thought they were going to get him, but guess they called him safe. So now there's runners on second and third here. There's a strikeout here for Brazaban. So there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. There are only 3 spring training games left. Tomorrow at 1. Sunday at 1. And Monday at 1. And I believe that Monday game is against the Yankees. And I think that game is usually in New York. So I think that game will actually be in New York. I'm not 100% certain on that, but you can look at tickets. Maybe not. I guess that one's down here. It's still, that one's still going to be in Florida. So that'll be it. Mets Yankees at Clover Park. No balls and 2 strikes here. Oh, that was close. They did challenge it. We'll see. It was outside. It was a ball. All right. 1 ball and 2 strikes here for Brazaban. That ball's in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are runners on second and third as we speak. Oh, he launched that. Oh, he made the catch. Wow, I thought that was gone for sure. All right, 7th inning stretch time. All right, we're at commercial break. We're headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is still 3-0 Mets, but barely. He crushed that ball, and somehow it didn't make it out. Must have gotten under it just enough because it went all the way back, basically caught right up against the wall. I thought for sure that was a home run. Alabama is going to end up putting away Robert Morris here. It's 88-77 with 26 seconds left, but shout out to Robert Morris for playing really well. No love lost seeing Alabama struggle, that's for sure. All right, Hayden Singer is up for the Mets. Broken back ground out to shortstop. They just showed Brett Beatty's swing on his double and on his home run, and it's looking really good. Brandon Nimmo's at the plate now. Three balls and one strike to Nimmo here. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. So they challenged that. That was called a strike. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Oh, Nimmo just fouled the ball off his foot. Got himself on the top of his back left foot. Yeah, no, I know. That is painful. That looks really painful. Three balls and 2 strikes to Nimmo now. Full count. So they were detailing before that. And Nimmo gets the walk here. So the Mets will have a runner on first in the bottom of the 7th here. 1 out. They were mentioning how Beatty has fixed his swing, that now his both hands stay on the bat all the way through. So instead of coming through and then losing one hand come off the bat, both hands stay through, which really helps you drive the ball all the way through more. So what's great about mechanical fixes is that if you can fix your mechanics, if the talent's there, then it just helps the talent do even better as you fix mechanics. So Alexander Canario bounces this, and this is going to be a single. Nimmo going to go first to third, so obviously that foot's not hurting too much. Another little rally here. 3-0 Mets, runners in first and third with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Yeah. Well, it's been interesting as I've been learning different things. I kind of only thought there was one, like, official swing that you're supposed to do. And I've learned that some of the things that we talk about, like swing-wise, or what a proper swing is, it's actually just a matter of, like, comfort. And, like, you know, so the front foot, whether you tap it, and grounds into a double play for Simone Juan. Simone Juan has not had a great game today. Been a rough game for Simone Juan. Now, he might have had an RBI. No, he didn't have an RBI either. He ended up on base earlier. Then he ran into an out at third when the ball was hit in front of him. So anyway, lots of things about swing mechanics, though, are just really preference. It's like you have to have a timing mechanism, and whether you want to step, whether you want to tap your foot, whether you know, it kind of doesn't matter the specific thing. So there's a lot of variety of swings. All right, we are now headed to the top of the 8th inning. We got another commercial break going on right now. The Mets threading that inning, got runners to first and third, but weren't able to score. All right, Hayden Sanders remaining in the game at catcher. I'm assuming we're getting a pitching change here. I never know how to say this guy's name. Danielle? Is the D silent? Danielle? Nunez is in. First pitch is smashed to third base. Gets past. And it's going to be a single. So there's going to be a leadoff runner on for the Cardinals here in the top of the 8th inning. No balls and 2 strikes. Gets ahead in the batter here. I think it's Burleson. I don't know his first name. Throw over to first. Runner gets back. It's the top of the 8th inning. There's a swing and a miss. There's one out here in the top of the 8th inning. Another strike, no balls, 1 strike to Leonardo Bernal. Now remember, this is a split squad game for the Cardinals, so most of their regulars are not in this game. This ball is hit, and it's going to be out of here. So there goes the shutout for the Mets. All right. Well, I just got a couple of orders that are going to keep us busy for the next hour or so. So it'll get us through the rest of this game. All right, it's a 3-2 lead. I'm going to leave the sweatshirt up. I got to run into the mall, pick up the first thing, and then we got to go to Olive Garden. So I got to pick up, actually doing 2 orders, picking up some Japanese food here, and then I'll be at the Olive Garden. I will post any updates if I'm in there for too long. Hopefully it won't take too long to get this order. So we'll be back with you, and let's go Mets. Let's see if the Mets can get out of this inning here with a lead. Still up 3-2, top of the 8th. All right, we're back. All right, so the Mets are up now here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They did get out of that last inning, and I don't even know who's batting. Who's batting? LaRusso? Don't even know who that is. And why we've covered a lot of spring training games, and that name still doesn't sound familiar. Nick LaRusso. He grounds it to short, and he will be out. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll stick with you guys through the end of the game. I'm on my way to the garden where they have the olives. And first pitch swing for there. We got all the Mets subs are coming in, so it's going to be really hard to keep up with it. Anyways, 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tyron Taylor is up next. First pitch is inside to Tyron Taylor. So it is 3-2. Mets had a 3-0 lead, and Daniel Nunez just gave up a 2-run homer in the top of the 8th inning. It's going to be a little short 2-out single for Taylor. So the Mets got a runner on. So the Mets are trying to get an insurance run here in the 8th. All right, so it is 3-2. Mets are leading, bottom of the 8th. 2 outs with a runner on first. Donovan Walton is up for the Mets. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So that's what we have going on right now. And for me personally, I'm driving to Olive Garden. So says they're going to bring the food out to me at Olive Garden too, which is pretty cool. And Donovan Walton gets hit on the foot. So there's going to be 2 runners on now here in the bottom of the 8th. Pushes Tyron Taylor into scoring position as well. So just need a nice 2-out hit. 2-out hit would score a run here. Give the Mets that insurance run that you're looking for in the 9th inning. Arnell, how are you doing today? Hope you are doing well. How will the Giants do now that they've added Justin Verlander? Well, as a Met fan who has had Justin Verlander on his team before, I think the answer really comes down to Verlander. How healthy can he stay? Will he stay healthy the whole season? You know, can you get 25 starts out of him throughout the whole season? You know, maybe give him some extra days of rest in there a little bit, but he's got to stay. He's got to be able to stay in the game and pitch regularly. So It definitely helps. I know the Giants keep trying to add like that super big name bat, and they just keep coming up short. All right, Acuna is challenging a called strike. And it is a strike. You know what some of this challenging system has taught me? It's amazing something and they're wrong as well. So for as much heat as the umpires get for not calling balls and strikes properly, I'm very interested to know what percentage that batters and catchers have been correct in their challenges versus incorrect. So Manhattan transfer, yeah. It was true. And I don't know if everyone is aware of that, but all right. So Walton is struck out, and we're going to the top of the ninth inning. It is 3-2. 3-2 Mets going to the top of the ninth, looking to put this game away. But anyway, when both the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants left, they both left town, headed right from New York to California. Well, that's how the Mets got their colors of the orange and the blue. They took the blue from the Brooklyn Dodgers and the orange from the New York Giants, and that's where they got their colors from. So every time you see the Mets, there's a little bit of Giants, there's a little bit of Dodgers. There's a couple of kids that are riding in an open Jeep up in front of me, and they're looking around, they're waving. Living the life. It's a Jeep, and it has an antique plate on it. So what does that mean? It's like at least 25 years old? All right, we are going to the top of the ninth inning. Mets are up 3-2. Jim Thorpe was on the Giants. Okay, so I know he played like everything. Maybe the greatest athlete ever. But I did not know that he was on the New York Giants. So there, I'll add that to my trivia pool that's hanging out of my head somewhere. Danny Young is coming in to pitch for the Mets. So what is your biggest concern, Arnell, for the Giants this upcoming season? Like, what's your biggest... Like, what is the thing you're most hopeful for and the thing you're most concerned about? We're on our way to pick up some food at Olive Garden. That's where we're going right now. We already have our first Sarku Japan order in here. Now we'll go get Olive Garden. Hopefully by the time we get our Olive Garden, this game will be over. Not because I don't like hanging out with you guys, but because the Mets will have won. One ball and two strikes is the count. This ball is going to be chopped to third. The third baseman picks it up, tries to make a great play, ends up throwing it away, so the runner's going to end up on second. That error is not on Brett Beatty. That's just a kid from the minors trying to do a little too much. All right, call strike one here. There's one out, runner on second, top of the ninth. Mets are up 3-2. Trying to pull that off. Yeah, that's the thing, is you guys are always seemingly in the rumors for the big guy, right? You were in the Aaron Judge. You were in the Pete Alonso. It just never seems to work out. So I wonder if you guys will try to make a splash for Vlad Guerrero Jr. next year. It's been a hard market for people to get people signed. Everybody wants to go to Los Angeles. It's been hard to get them in San Francisco. Toronto, I know, has struggled a lot. It's not like your teams aren't trying. Like they are. They're trying to sign guys. And all right, there's a strikeout. 2 outs. All right, this is it. Mets are trying to put this game away. Oh, I guess there was just one out with that strikeout. So on that play, they cut down the lead runner. Same issue that the Mets had too. So now you go from a runner in scoring position to not. So there's 2 outs here. Mets are trying to hold on here. Runner on first, 2 outs. We got a grounder, and they're going to get the lead runner at second. That will end the game. Your New York Mets do end up pulling off the victory today. Major highlights: Clay Holmes, 5 1/3 innings of shutout ball. Brett Beatty, 2-run homer. So that is gonna do it for today. All right, well, I appreciate you guys. How's it going, Plain Sharks? I just arrived at Olive Garden. Who's the Mets ace? Well, I don't know if we have an ace. Thank you, Arnell. But I would say, well, Clay Holmes is our opening day starter. And Kodai Senga has the chance of also putting up some really good numbers. So the Mets officially pulled this game out 3-2. But yeah, I don't know if we would really have like an ace. We probably don't have a number. Probably half the teams in Major League Baseball probably have a better number one than the Mets do. So yeah, I wouldn't say that we particularly have an ace. I don't know. That's my take on it. But yeah, Plain Shark's doing well. So we're actually going to wrap this up. But I'll hang out for a couple of minutes here while we're waiting. Apparently, Olive Garden's supposed to bring the order out, but I don't have a high patience tolerance for sitting in my car and waiting for someone to bring me food, because the vast majority of the time that I've done that, they're like, oh, they forget. Thank you, Arnell. Appreciate you. Good luck to your Giants as well this season. Make sure you hit that subscribe. We'll be doing other live streams throughout the season as well. And I'm sure at some point in the season we'll play you, and hopefully we'll be live for one of those games as well. So, but no, I'll hang out with you guys here until they bring my food out here. I don't even know what they're bringing out. All right, I can cut that. Yeah, well, I was just streaming during the Mets game, Plain Sharks. So this was just, Mets game started at it was fast. Game started at 1:10, so it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So, and I'm not going to be out delivering tonight. Otherwise, I would have streamed the game from home. But my son has baseball practice tonight. Thank you, Arnell. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go check on my food here in about a minute, though. Yeah. So unfortunate too, because I think deliveries are gonna be killer tonight with basketball and everything. Oh, I haven't done a basketball tournament update here in a second. By the way, my daughter's bracket is doing absolutely amazing. I think she's only missed one pick so far. Or 2 picks. I think she missed 2 so far. She got 14 out of 16 yesterday. And she picked it all by herself, too. Like, no help from me. Yeah, and she's 3 for 3 today. So she's 17 for 19 on her bracket. Meanwhile, me, I'm 14. My son and I each have 14. My youngest daughter is 13. My wife had AI pick her bracket, and she got 16. And my oldest daughter picked her own, and she's got 17. Yeah, I gotta go check on this food here really quick. Yeah, exactly. Should have gone with her picks. Somebody else has been waiting out here and went to get their food too. All right. Well, they said they are bringing. Well, I'll hang with you guys until then. I got somebody else's order here. It's like 10 items. I gotta see what's in this thing. That's a lot of items. It just says 7 food, 2 bulk item, 2 beverage. Wonder if I should. I'm gonna go get another bag here. I'm not gonna be able to fit all that in my catering bag, plus the other order I have. I can take it over on this side here. Thank you. Yeah, I do catering orders too, so I like a large one. Just let it sit on the front seat.
Yeah, I love that. You do pizza delivery too?
Yeah, well, I do it all.
That.
Do Uber Eats, Instacart, DoorDash, catering, Grubhub.
Wow. Are you like busy nonstop?
This time of the afternoon. Yeah, Mets and making moolah, behold, absolutely. Vitalik, how's it going? All right, I mean, we can stay on. I'm just doing deliveries. There's no more Mets game, but we can just talk and hang out. I guess that's fine. I got a 10-mile drive here to, these deliveries are both like going pretty far. This is like 7. This is like a catering order, basically. This garden. It's like 7. Yeah. So if you guys want to hang out, that's fine. I'll be a little limited in how much I can talk while I'm driving. It's gonna be the busy time of day here, so I gotta be extra careful with traffic. But yeah, absolutely. So Mets won today. I'll give you kind of the breakdown for those of you who missed some or part of the game or all of the game. Clay Holmes pitched 5 1/3 innings, a shutout ball. Pitched, I believe, 88 pitches, I think, was his final pitch count. And so that was really nice. He will be the starting pitcher for Mets opening day, which is in 6 days. So next Thursday, I believe 6 p.m. Eastern. Unfortunately, unless there's a rain out, I will not be able to cover that live because my son also has a game that night. But if we can't work that out, we'll try to cover at least one of those other games next weekend. So it's like, yeah, the game starts at like, I think the game starts at like 4. Sorry, not 6. I said that wrong. The game starts at 4. My son's game is at 6. So we might do like the first inning or something like that. You know, or just like a little bit of game, and then come back and do a full recap at the end or whatever. There's just so many good Mets content creators doing previews and recaps that I'm just gonna kind of focus on doing the actual live in-game stuff. And then we'll do some general updates and stuff. One other thing that I would love to know from you guys too is what type of baseball content would you like to see on YouTube that you're not seeing? You know, so because there's just so many people who do like all the same stuff, and I'm trying to come up with something that's a little bit different. So I'd love to know, like, what sort of things would you like to see? What type of content? I mean, I think there's already groups of people, lots of people who do power rankings and other stuff, but is there something? Is there some sort of like baseball content that you wish someone was making that you're not really finding anywhere? Because maybe if that's the case, I can try to do something a little bit more with that. Of course, we also have the NFL draft coming up soon, so we'll do a little bit of coverage on that. I just don't know I don't know too much about like draft prospects and stuff, and I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to dig into the stats and everything like that like crazy. So that's why I'm just focusing on the in-game and learning and cheering on the Mets in real time and just having a group of people to do that with. Talk sports, talk baseball and football, and at least for now, I don't have the time to do it. Maybe someday. So we've got to go like 9 miles to deliver this Olive Garden order first. And then we got to drive like 4 miles beyond that to drop off the Sarku, Japan order that we're doing here. So we're doing food delivery, just talking baseball, talking sports. Let me know if you got any thoughts. I do like that, Behold Mets and Making Moolah. I do like that for some of the live streams when I'm out working. Mets and Making Moolah. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. If you haven't done so, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I know we gained a couple of subs today, so I appreciate y'all. We're on the path to 150 subscribers. That's our next checkpoint here. Next checkpoint. Looking for 22 more. Our ultimate first goal is the 500 subscribers. So that's like where we're going to do a big celebration. We're going to be announcing a brand new giveaway on the channel here soon. We just did our first giveaway of the David Peterson rookie card, and now we're going to follow up here with another giveaway for when we hit 150 subscribers. But everything ultimately pointing towards 500 subscribers. I'm hoping once baseball season kicks in, we start doing some lives. Hopefully we can really amp up those subscribers. So, but I appreciate you guys being the foundation, like the building block. And I know you're hardcore if you're following along on spring training baseball. For sure. So let's see, I can give you guys a quick little update here. For those of you who have brackets, Baylor beat Mississippi State 75-72. Iowa State beat Lipscomb 82-55, and Robert Morris kept it close for a long time. Number 15 Robert Morris against number 2 Alabama, but Alabama ended up winning that one 90-81. But Robert Morris was within 5 for a good portion of the game, like most every time I was checking on the score. Now there's 3 more games going on. So there's number 1 Duke is beating Mount St. Mary's 38-20. St. Mary's is tied with Vanderbilt 9-9. Those are both first half games. In the second half, number 12 Colorado, this is where it starts to get interesting. They are up 7 on number 5 Memphis. So they always say you should have at least one 12-5. I believe we had a 12-5 upset yesterday. And now you're looking at a second 12-5 starting to brew. It's on TBS if you are interested in that. So number 12 Colorado State up 59-52 on number 5 Memphis. So that's the breakdown of what we have so far there. We can also do baseball scores of games that are currently going on or were going on earlier. The Astros beat the other half of the Cardinals 5-3. The Cardinals were split squads, so half the Cardinals lost to the Mets, the other half the Cardinals lost to the Astros. The Blue Jays are beating the Phillies 10-5, and the 8th, the Rangers are beating the Angels 1-0. Is that a DeGrom game? Nope, it's a Nathan Eovaldi game. It's Nathan Eovaldi for that one. All right. Royals and Athletics are just warming up, getting ready to get going. Same thing with the Mariners and the other half of the Royals. And then the Guardians and the Giants are also warming up, as well as half the Angels and the Rockies. So lots of split squads today. I'm kind of surprised they have this many split squads still going at this point, because I think you would almost just want to get to the point where you can get all your minor leaguers sent down to camps and then just have your starters or your last couple of position battles. But maybe that's why. Maybe so you can have players battling for positions start in two different places. Sounds good, Plain Sharks. Appreciate you so much. Be safe out there. So yeah, that's about all we got. If you guys got any other baseball questions or anything else, let me know. If you're following along with brackets, let me know how your bracket is doing. I was telling everybody, my oldest daughter picked her own bracket all by herself. She's gotten 17 out of 19 right so far. She's got the nice little fire next to her name. See if the game she missed was like a so she got busted on the Drake versus Missouri game where Drake pulled off the upset. But literally every upset that happened yesterday, except for that one, she got right. She picked all the favorite. I mean, it was good. She did a good job. And then so far, today, 3 for 3. Today's haven't been too hard. They've all been pretty logical. So we're dropping off some Olive Garden here, hanging out with everybody. Ugh. So what's that game again? Colorado State at Memphis. Colorado State is now up 10. They are up 10. Oh, and then she also missed the Clemson McNeese game. She missed 2. I forgot she missed 2. Which is funny because I think almost everybody else in the family picked McNeese. So that was the one upset that I really liked. I don't know who she picked in this upset that's brewing now though. So Aaron Judge, always overrated. You should just change that to your name, Savage Batman. Just make that be your name. Aaron Judge is overrated. I appreciate your commitment to the bit for sure. Say whatever you want. You just might not make a lot of friends in here. I don't know. Pretty much everywhere I've seen, everyone's picking the Mets to finish third in their division. So no one expected them to be in the NLCS last year. So I think the vast majority of people had the Mets underrated. Even Mets fans probably weren't expecting to see what we saw last year. So, most, not necessarily picks, but just like at least most fans that I'm seeing, the vast majority of them are putting Phillies 1, Braves 2, Mets 3. So Stan, who's one of the regulars on this channel, he actually thinks the Red Sox are going to have a good season. So he has the Red Sox winning the AL East, which really making the playoffs would be better than anything the Cowboys did, right, Savage? So, oh, there's Stan. There is one of the hardest things to shake in sports is a reputation. And because the only way you can shake a reputation is by proving things on the field. And this is the Mets actually have a reputation problem, which is the LOL Mets. You know, look, it's the LOL Mets. And I think there is something, I mean, it is fair. Like, I don't think Mets fans should have a head about themselves. Like, oh, we're this amazing team. Like, no, you gotta go out and prove it. You gotta go out and beat the Dodgers. So, you know, you got to be able to go into the Atlanta and beat the Braves. You need to beat up on the Marlins and the Nationals in the regular season, and not, you know, doesn't mean you have to win every series or anything like that. You're gonna have a handful of games that are gonna just be like whatever, but. But the Mets have a reputation problem that they're seen that way. And I think if you look at it, there's been a cultural shift with the Mets. This is not the same culture Mets that they've basically had since the early 90s. Steve Cohen has brought in a culture shift. He's brought in the money needed to I want to see something. I don't know if you can shift the order. I want to deliver this other order first here. Yeah, there are definitely a few inopportune walks. I agree with that. I understand why they want me to deliver this Olive Garden order first, but I'm going to basically be driving within like a mile of this other guy, and then I have to double back. Like, I'm going to go past his house by like 3 miles, and I want to avoid the interstate. How do I deliver out of order? Can I do this? I don't have his exact address, so I don't think there's a way I can do it. I thought Jarvis Landry, there was a period of time I thought Jarvis Landry was going to be a Hall of Famer. Like, there was like a legit chunk of time where I thought, oh my goodness, and then just kind of, he's still really good, but he couldn't sustain it. Alright, looks like I have to deliver this Olive Garden one first. So, but yeah, since we're out here, I got nothing better to do. So, hang on, I'm going to drop off these 2 orders, and at that point it's going to be time to go head to school and pick up everybody from school. We've got practice tonight. My son has 7 o'clock practice. That's like so late. I don't want to be doing baseball practice at 7 o'clock on a Friday night. I don't mind a game, but practice at 7 is a little rough. But we've had so few practices. It's been hard. We need practice. We lost, by the way. We lost our second game of the season, so we're now 6-2-2. We've got a really good team, but we faced a team that was just absolutely stellar on defense. we kept hitting the ball, and every time we hit the ball, they were positioned right where they were supposed to be. And I kind of want to say that I don't want to call it a fluke, but I do think it was one of those games where just everywhere we hit the ball, they were just there. And they made all the plays, which for like 8 to 10-year-olds to make, they probably made 8 defensive plays, like legit defensive plays in the same game. I'd find it hard to believe they could repeat that, but maybe they are just that sound fundamentally. I don't know, but we were not fundamentally sound that last game. We had not practiced recently, and it showed. There's a lot of rust. So we definitely need the defensive drill work. Yeah. 9 years ago, having a 30-0 lead. Yeah, no, I mean, when Jarvis Landry first came up, he was really good. Then he ended up in Cleveland, and that's just kind of a death knell for everybody. We still have like 5 miles to get to this drop off here. This is like a ton of Olive Garden food. Like, it was just a huge order. I'm avoiding the interstate though, because the interstate is an absolute mess. An absolute mess, especially on Fridays. But this time of year, we got all of our snowbirds from the north. All right. Well, yeah. So if you guys got anything else to talk about sports-wise, let me know. I'm running out of things to say. You know, not having a computer right in front of me to be able to like look up stuff kind of left it a little bit, but I do appreciate each and every one of you hanging out here today. And as another good Mets win. I didn't get to see the full stat last night, but the Mets scored like 10 runs. Jose Siri did well last night. Acuna did well last night. And then Kodai Senga pitched, and he pitched well last night. So I'm ready. I'm just ready for the season to begin, right? Like, it's just time to begin. All right. Well, that being said, it is 4 o'clock. We've been streaming almost 3 hours. So I'm going to take a little mental break before I catch up with the family. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Well, I'm not sure the next time we'll be live. I'll try to make a community post, at least a little bit ahead of time on the days that we will be going live, just so you know. But for today, I think we're good. Mets win again. Brett Beatty, 2-run homer. Clay Holmes, 5 1/3 shutty. So it was a good game for the Mets. Appreciate you all as always. And it was a really good conversation in the beginning, and it's really fun seeing fans of other teams start to hang out too. So that's what I really want this to be. Like, we have our debates and stuff, but I want to keep it fun,